Welcome to this week's Ask Charlie and to the last one of this year. I cannot believe it. This year has been quite a year, and I was going to put on a pretty dress, but I'm full of a cold. I'm tired, and I thought I would just stay cosy in my best find from a vintage shop, this cardigan. I thought it'd be warm and cosy and come and chat to you. So lovely to have the fire crackling behind us, and this room has really kind of come into itself this Christmas. I love spending time in here, and I'll often find Simon just sat in here quietly, just taking it all in. And I popped the Christmas cards up last night. I think they look really, really pretty, and we're loving our new home. It's so bizarre. I first discovered it over 10 years ago, riding past. And then when I broke my shoulder, I was rescued by the paramedics. Literally, the ambulances were parked out there because it was a single track and they couldn't get up to get me out of the field that I was in. So they parked outside here. And now this has become our home. And it has been a year of huge change. And I knew as we went into 2024 that it was going to be a year of change, but I didn't know how. I didn't know what that was going to look like, and I didn't know what it was going to be, or how it was going to pan out, I think is what I'm trying to say. And you have to bear with me. I'm not feeling on tip top, so I'm even less concise than normal. So this could be quite a rambled chat. But I think we knew that it was going to be a year of change, but we didn't know how. And I think for somebody, I'm a Cancerian, I'm a homemaker. My home is my everything. And for that to be uprooted, it is really unsettling for somebody like that. And I'm sure some of you can empathise with what I'm saying. And so I found it really difficult to make the decisions. And when I heard that this house was available and it was Theodore that actually sowed the seed, not knowingly, in my mind, and I said to Simon, shall we do it? And he was like, would you? And I was like, yeah, I would. It's the best thing we've ever done. I think you can tell that I'm very, very happy here. We have made it a wonderful home. It's been a hard push, and considering we only moved in August, now everything is done. It's as we want it, and it's working really well for us as a family. It's lovely to have everybody here for the holidays and enjoy this space. But I think what I've learned from this year is change is unsettling. Change is horrid. None of us want to do it. It's a little bit like ripping the plaster off. And when you're moving house, you can't rip that plaster off quickly and be done with it. It takes time. And it's painful. And adjusting is painful. And I think for me, not having everything in order, not being able to find things and everything, like my world to be chaotic, I find that really hard and really unsettling. So for me, that has been a massive challenge to deal with. And as I'm always saying, to deal with it with a gracious heart. There have been some really testing moments. There's been a lot of tears. There's been a lot of laughter. And I think most importantly, a lot of love. I found and made some wonderful new friends through this process that have been such a huge support, such a huge comfort. I thought long and hard back in January how I was going to navigate sharing this online and what I was going to share and what I wanted to share and what felt comfortable, or was I just going to disappear and not share any of it and just deal with it privately? And whilst that was really tempting, it's also off by not doing that, because I've shared every step of the process along the way with you all. It's been a huge, huge comfort and support to me. Your lovely messages, your lovely comments, your love and kindness has meant the world to me. And so I'm so pleased I made that decision to just share it, like warts and all, and be as honest as I possibly can with you guys about you know, our decisions to how we got to here. I'm checking, the fire's not looking so good. But anyway, hopefully it's not a roaring fire. It's a slightly sad fire behind me. Let's pause for a moment. I'm going to get the bellows, sort the fire out, and I'll be back with you. There we are. That is a little bit better. More roaring fire than we had before. But, you know, change is difficult, and it's really hard having the courage to make the decisions to make that change. And it's so funny how things pan out in life and how things work out. And I think some things, and I am a great believer of they are meant to be and they just happen. And when you make that decision to make the change, then other options present themselves. And we had made the decision and this presented itself. And it's just what we need right now, and that is perfect. So it's very exciting. I think, you know, my father dying, and, you know, many of you know that I didn't have an easy relationship with him. We think that Dad was on the spectrum, probably Asperger's. It was a difficult relationship, and it had been many years of unease and distress with him, and then as I talk about, you know, things got easier with my father once Simon came into my life, but it had not been easy. And if you have a difficult relationship with somebody, then grief is really difficult. And Simon actually said to me a number of years ago, darling, I think you need to address and have some therapy to deal with the relationship you have with your father. And I'm so grateful that he did that. And I did some specific work with my therapist, Estelle, and with Kate Finn. And Kate Finn is a clinical hypnotherapist. And we did some specific trauma work. And that, I cannot tell you how much it helped me. I mean, obviously, grieving is horrid and difficult. And it's been a really tough year. And it would have been a lot tougher, I think, is what I'm trying to say, if I hadn't have had that therapy and that support. And after Dad died, I had a series of sessions with Estelle to, you know, talk about it and work through things that were playing on my mind and worrying me. And I feel so grateful that I didn't give up on therapy. I had three bad experiences in my teens and early 20s, and I was quite dismissive. And actually, again, it was Simon who was like, darling, I think you need to talk to somebody. And that was when things were really difficult with my mother, and that's when I found Estelle, and the children were really tiny, and it helped so much, because I think one thing that's been really important for me is not letting patterns of behaviour through generations repeat themselves, and actually being brave to make the changes. And that is really important, because I want to be the best version of myself that I can be, and the best parent and mother. And my grandmother wasn't the easiest. My mother wasn't the easiest. They were both wonderful people, but they also had a really difficult side. And so that I didn't want to repeat through me. So I'm so grateful that I did that work, and it made Dad's death not easier, yes, but probably actually easier than it would have done if I hadn't have had those sessions and done the work. And that was seriously helpful. And I really do thank Kate specifically for dealing with the childhood trauma. And until I had properly dealt with that, I couldn't move forward. And there's an amazing book by Lucinda Gordon-Lennox called Nobody's Broken. And that book, and I listened to it on Audible, made me realise that actually, having done that work with Kate, I was free from the past. And that is a really liberating feeling. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. Some of you might think I'm talking utter whatever, but for me, that was a really kind of powerful moment. And, and then the move has been challenging and getting settled here. It's been quite something. It wasn't like we just sort of moved in and everything was ready. There was a huge delay with the kitchen, partly because I chose a specific colour, but also partly timing, and these things always take longer. So we moved into no kitchen, and that it wasn't like we could just move in and put things in the cupboards. No. It was far more of a challenge, but we have done it. And it's a good feeling. The children are all happy at school. We did have an unexpected move for Coco, which, again, you're only as happy as your unhappiest child. So I think, the three things: moving house, dad, and not a very happy child, although she's blissfully happy now, which is brilliant. It's been a year, and I am really excited for 2025. I was on a Zoom with my members club a couple of days ago, and I said to them, I'm not sleeping brilliantly at the moment because I've got all these amazing, exciting ideas buzzing around my head in the middle of the night, and I'm just planning all these things. Now we've done the move, now we're settled, now I can start focusing on the things that bring me joy. And Ask Charlie brings me so much joy. I absolutely love what I do, and for me that is so exciting. So I really hope that 2025 brings lots of exciting new things, opportunities. I really want to do in-person cookery demos and get everybody around a table and chatting and eating and meeting some of you. That I am really excited about. So I am working on ideas, so bear with. But I just want to thank you all so much for your kindness, your support, because without you guys, there would be none of this. And so I'm really, really grateful. I want to wish you and your families a wonderful Christmas. And I'm going to take a little bit of time off, which I think some of you will be pleased to hear. And I will be back in 2025 with hopefully lots of energy, lots of enthusiasm, and lots of exciting ideas for what is to come. And I can't wait to share that with you. But for now, we are going to have a wonderful first Christmas in our new home, making new memories, and I think it is about creating new memories, and it's about trying to be as positive. It's not about looking back. It's not about missing. It's about stepping forward with your best foot and embracing all that is new. And I think if you look at it with those eyes, then it makes it so much easier and so much more exciting. But thank you very, very much for tuning in. Have a wonderful Christmas, lots of love, and I will see you in the new year.